right. More news coming up next on BCOP Copenhagen. More news coming up next on BCOP Copenhagen. Hi, this is your humble host from TechBeat. I'm Steven. I'm also the proprietor of Techie Crafts. I am pleased to tell you that I have plenty of supply remaining on my Techie Crafts thanks to COVID and just the delays of not getting your creative stuff in craft fairs. So I have a lot of inventory. Now I want to tell you a good little secret because you listened to me on TechBeat on News Radio 990 BCOP and the BRCK550. I want you to use a little promo code on the Etsy checkout. It's called BCOP990. Use that code on the Etsy checkout and you'll save because you're a loyal listener to Tech Beats and you like techie related crafts. Use that. We have deep discounts thanks to COVID just putting a kink on everything. And we also are using COVID-19 protocols even though that may still not be as necessary, but we care about your safety. Visit TechBeats.com.
In the spirit of Copenhagen, news, traffic, and weather. This is BCOP, BCOR FM, and BCOE AM 81 Copenhagen.
That 17-year-old boy who was accused for murdering two bystanders at a Black Lives Matter protest last summer has heard his verdict. However, victims are not happy with the outcome from ABC News.
Parents of Anthony Huber issued a statement. We are heartbroken and angry that Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted. There was no justice today for Anthony or for Mr. Rittenhouse's other victims. Today's verdict means there is no accountability for the person who murdered our son. It sends the unacceptable message that armed civilians can show up in any town, incite violence, and then use the danger they have created to justify shooting people in the street.
And then covers the news at the minute after the hour. Back in Copenhagen, John Broderberg, Governor Broderberg, is now changing his tune. He will not be showing up for the Copenhagen Thanksgiving Parade. Paul Martino has his report from downtown.
The governor denies plans for going to the Copenhagen Thanksgiving Day Parade in a new state agency. Rumors have been reported that the governor was going to introduce the Mini-Brick State Marshals in one of the parades in lieu of the Mini-Brick State Police. City city officials say they will not allow any last-minute changes to any government agencies as it was settled earlier in the month. If the governor does have plans and aspirations to use the city parade for his political agenda, this will raise concerns amongst the city officials. In downtown Copenhagen, this is Paul Martino for BCOP 990 News.
Today, a little bit warmer tomorrow, 52 in downtown Copenhagen, upper middle 50s elsewhere. Tomorrow night, cooler in the 20s. For the rest of the week, it will be turning more seasonally mild for the rest of the week. The current temperature right now is 46, going up to 48 degrees in downtown Copenhagen, 43 in Kensington's Burgess, and 45 degrees in Littleton Heights. Our next news update is at the bottom of the hour. Breaking news when it happens. This is Jane Weathers in the BCOP newsroom. It's that time of year again, and downtown Copenhagen will shut down on Thanksgiving morning for its annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. Turn to BCOP TV Channel 6 at 11 a.m., and if you're stuck in your car ready to your grandmother's house, you go. Tune to BCOP 990. Channel 6 News reporter Alessa DeSanto and Paul Martino from BCOP 990 will give you the play-by-play. Tune in on Thanksgiving morning. Hi, this is your humble host from TechBeat. I'm Steven. I'm also the proprietor of Techie Crafts. I am pleased to tell you that I have plenty of supply remaining on my Techie Crafts thanks to COVID and just the delays of not getting your creative stuff in craft fairs. So I have a lot of inventory. Now I want to tell you a good little secret because you. This is a programming note from BCOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now, from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford, from Clickford Media Services. Hi, welcome to TechBeat on this. It's the 20th of November 2021. We're almost at the end of the second year of the new decade. Are you really up for it? I don't know about you, but hi, my name is Steven. I'm your former techie, and now I'm just going into reporting you the news and often reading other people's stories and making it my own, make my own impression here on BCOP. And here, CK550. We are on for 2 hours today, and we'll be taking your questions and concerns regarding technology. Right now, it's about 2:08, and we're going to start off the first story on the Facebook's quarterly. They're still vague about the company. The executives of Facebook, now known as Meta, they really don't have a clue. But is that by design? I would think so. The CNBC reported or posted an article overnight this morning that the metaverse is still vague, that this didn't stop dozens of executives speaking about their metaverse strategies. Executives at different competitors have weighed in for CNBC.com. Online dating apps, a crypto exchange, a professional wrestling band are among the many companies that have tried to weave their desperate and seemingly unrelated business into the metaverse conversation this quarter. This concept is on the top analysts' minds after Facebook changed its corporate name to Meta in October in preparation for an embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it, as defined by CEO Mark Zuckerberg, the company that was once known as Facebook. Zuckerberg is betting on the metaverse, a computer-generated world where people will work, play, socialize using the company's virtual reality headsets. But executives around the world have differing opinions on what is the metaverse and what we should expect from it. Some of the metaverse is something that already exists as worlds created by Roblox. Others see it as a futuristic concept. All I could do is sit back and watch this in amazement. Neil Stephenson, who popularized the term in his 1992 book Snow Crash, told CNBC in a recent interview. Here's what we, air quote, learned. It's a human co-experience. Roblox CEO David Baszucki. This is called a metaverse today. We've called it the human co-experience. Baszucki defines the metaverse as a place where technology combines high-fidelity communication as a way to tell stories, borrowing it from mobile gaming and the entertainment industry. This new category of metaverse or co-experience is predicated on 8 fundamentals, Baszucki said: identity, social, immersive, low friction, variety, anywhere, economy, and civility. It's already here. Warner Music Group CEO Stephen Cooper, I think we'd be within these large-scale metaverses, Fortnite, Roblox, and others, that we will begin to see an opportunity where providing content and distribution converges. If we could begin to look at the global reach, the number of people that spend meaningful amounts on time on these worlds, I think it provides the universe a new opportunity for Warner. Vonage, they're still around, believe it or not. They believe it's going to be in the next 5, 7, 10 years, saying it's not here yet. It's too late to get in. Chinese video sharing site CEO. Metaverse is a concept, it's not a product. And before this concept emerges, I guess, is that same logic would apply for Facebook? It's a concept. Whether it's virtual reality, a tight social community, or a system, or social system, or self-reinforcing ecosystem that already existed, there are already a lot of companies already developing this product on these concepts. For example, Facebook and Tencent is actually Bilibili is one of them. It's vague. Tencent CEO Chi-Ping Lau. And on Metaverse, I think this is actually very exciting, but a vague concept. Adobe Laboratory CEO Kevin Yeaman. I think the metaverse, I guess, could be taken many forms, but it's ultimately an audiovisual experience. Whatever it is, NetEase will be the fast runner. Chinese game maker NetEase says that the metaverse is indeed a new buzzword everywhere today. But then on the other hand, I think nobody actually has the first hand of what it is. But at least we're actually technically ready. We know what to accumulate with the relevant know-how and the relevant skill set of when that day comes. So I think when it eventually comes, we'll be probably one of the fastest runners in the metaverse verse. It has something to do with crypto. Coinbase. This is what's replacing the Staples Center for sponsoring rights. Coinbase CEO and co-founder Brian Armstrong. I think with tens of millions of Americans out there that are using this asset class for all kinds of things, not just financial services and unique payments and things like that. It's also the art of new forms of government and identity and the metaverse. It's so exciting that millions of young people, the talented young people all over the U.S. are coming into this field. The Hasbro CEO says this is the first step. It's something where Bumble will be. This is another dating app, which will have news and sports. I don't know if that's a good thing too. There's a lot of stuff, and you know what? Facebook is doing this intentionally because digital companies do not have to have any standards whatsoever, at all. No, of course not. All right, we'll take a quick commercial break. This is TechBeat, and this is yours truly. Hi, this is your humble host from TechBeat. I'm Steven. I'm also the proprietor of Techie Crafts. I am pleased to tell you that I have plenty of supply remaining in my Techie Crafts thanks to COVID and just the delays of not getting your creative stuff in craft fairs. So I have a lot of inventory. Now I want to tell you a good little secret because you listened to me on TechBeat on News Radio 990 BCOP and the BRCK550. I want you to use a little promo code on the Etsy checkout. It's called BCOP99. Use that code on the Etsy checkout and you'll save because you're a loyal listener to Tech Beats and you like techie related crafts. Use that. We have deep discounts thanks to COVID just putting a kink on everything. And we also are using COVID-19 protocols even though that may still not be as necessary, but we care about your safety. Visit techiehouse.clickfor.net and just use BCOP990 and I'll know where you're coming from. You're listening to BCOP 990 BCOP News Time 2:16. It's time for traffic. Do you know a techie in your life that likes to have technical themed stuff in your office or workspace? Do you have a favorite catchphrase that your techie person may like? Visit techiecrafts.clickfor.net. This website has more than 20 items available at your convenience. Shipping can be done within 3 business days. Use promo code 990BCOP at checkout to save 20% off for any orders over $25. Visit techiecrafts.clickfor.net.
If BCOP
BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949. 231-272-9949. This is a programming note from BCOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now, from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford, from Clickford Media Services.
Welcome back. I'm just finishing my here on BCOP News Radio. Caught me just trying to get at the right moment here. Let's focus on some more stories going on with Facebook. That was an analysis from CNBC.com. There's still more stuff on here. Bumble, Qualcomm. They think they're gonna. Qualcomm is betting on that. But this is a pretty lengthy article here. Unity. Who's Unity? They're saying whatever more metaverse means, it's going to be built by millions of content creators. But right now, Facebook really, I don't know. We got to think about this. Another new development this week, if you are a Fruity user using the Apple platform, Apple has really kind of introduced this. They dumped this right around a holiday week, but I'm trying to find if there's an article on it. I didn't see a particular, but Apple's trying to get into managing Macs and your Apple devices, and I saw it earlier in the week. I just the article slipped on me, but basically, here's my advice on Apple's new Macintosh. Mac management. I'm sorry, your Apple device. I keep saying Macintosh because that's just my natural thing here. But I don't like how everything's connected to the internet. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan with the whole idea that everything has to be interconnected, connected with an Apple, with an Apple account. Because if the Apple stuff goes down, then your Macs go down, and there's more force on being on the latest and greatest, and I just think it's just asking for a lot of problems with this. I mean, obviously it's for small businesses, and I'm not sure about going to Apple for it, but we'll have some questions. Well, I'll get you some more answers and get you some more stuff later on the show. We will not be on today. Will not be on next Saturday. I'll be off, so there will be a taped. We'll have a taped edition of TechBeat with the more important news of the week. It's gonna be really busy here for my media services business. I'm probably gonna be here all day, all night, up until probably Wednesday night here with different production services. Let's go to Michael. He's got a question. This is a really interesting question. I'm glad that the question is being asked. It's regards on VPN. Michael, you're on the Tech Beat. What is your question?
Hi. So I have a question with regards to VPNs. You do not sponsor a VPN provider. What is VPNs safe the way that they talk about? And if you do recommend a VPN, which one would you recommend? And how much should I be paranoid? And should I just get a new tinfoil hat at TechieCrafts? I'll take your question off the air.
Well, to answer your question, Michael, I don't have any VPN sponsors on the show. I don't allow people to just give me sponsored time unless I really would like it. But again, I'm in news gathering, so I have to be really careful which advertisers I have, because we have to go through some standards and practices and stuff like that. Here's the problem with VPNs. Yes, you can bypass various geographic bands with media content, but it doesn't matter what the VPNs protect the traffic from the device to the core network, but not necessarily on applications. Yes, Facebook may think I'm basically, if I was like in China, I can't use Facebook, but if I VPN to a more Western society, no one from the ISP is going to see it, but it doesn't matter when on the application level, right? If I encrypt data on my VPN, it's still going that the application layers will still be able to get a profile of who I am between the various advertising. You have to block the advertisers, and if your VPN provider is blocking that at that end, then perhaps yes, but I don't believe they are doing that. So I really strongly advocate that you really do your research. For our applications, I would use VPNs to remotely access. So for the enterprise level, if you're in a business, you're typically VPNing to get remote access to your critical infrastructure that you don't want overly exposed on your internet. So anything like file sharing, like SMB or AFP, for example, you may hear those phrases. Those things should not be on the internet. They should be on a local network through VPN. FTP, Telnet, those stuff are actually blocked for obvious reasons. They don't have a lot of security, but you want to kind of go through a remote computer that's exposed to the VPN, or have your VPN basically exposed to the internet, and that's where the VPNs are mostly used for. This consumptive stuff, I think it's good to bypass those geographic filters, and it does work that way. Let's say your office is based in Boston, you want to hear the Patriots on your mobile device, and you're down in DC making your way down to North Carolina, and you're not going to get the Patriots coverage. You get the pregame, but you don't get the game, right? So what you do is you take your VPN client, you take your laptop and remote into your computer that's in your environment. They can pass the audio through, and hey, that's how you get the Patriots. But the networks don't see you on an iPhone, and what it sees your Mac or whatever you use to be the device, the host device to get the traffic. It's a very complex thing. We'll do VPNs for Christmas time because we bet you people will be getting that and stuff. It's just you gotta be careful with it. All right, it's 28 minutes after the hour. You are listening to TechBeat, and we will be back after these messages. We'll be right back. It's that time of year again. In downtown Copenhagen will shut down on Thanksgiving morning for its annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. Turn to BCOP TV Channel 6 at 11 a.m. And if you're stuck in your car ready to your grandmother's house, you go. Tune to BCOP 990. Channel 6 News reporter Alessa DeSanto and Paul Martino from BCOP 990 will give you the play-by-play. Tune in on Thanksgiving morning.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern Brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9949, 231-272-9949. In the spirit of Copenhagen. BCOP, AM 81 Copenhagen.
Kyle got in over his head. He might have been foolish to be in that situation in that moment, but foolishness is not a crime in the United States. And at the end of the day, he still had a right to self-defense in that moment.
our next news update at the top of the hour. This is Jane Weathers in the BCOP Newsroom.
This is a programming note from BCOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now, from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford, from Clickford Media Services.
Okay, welcome to TechBeat on November 20th, 2021. This is yours truly, Stephen Clickford. And the show is brought to you by from techcrafts.clickford.net as well. Apple released a press release about 10 days ago, roughly. Apple Business Essentials, the new service available today on November 10th in beta, brings device management support and storage into one complete subscription for small businesses. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that is probably not the in my opinion, the most I'm skeptical on this. Apple announced today Apple Business Essentials, an all-new cloud service that brings together device management, 24/7 Apple support, take that with a grain of salt, and iCloud storage into a flexible subscription plans for small businesses with up to 500 employees. How do you measure that? Users versus machines. Yeah, because 500 employees, does that include devices and machines? I like to question this. The company has also unveiled a new Apple Business Essentials app that enables employees to install apps for work and request support. Now, this means that instead of buying every individual app in the App Store, you can buy these in bulk. So, in a way, it's good, but I'm gonna read on this and just tell you, just because this press release sounds good does not mean that it's gonna work for everybody. Apple Business Essentials saves the precious time for small businesses as they grow. Available today in beta, the service beta, so that's the key word right there. The service supports small businesses through the total device management life cycle, from device setup to employee onboarding and device updates, while providing strong security, prioritized support, and secure data storage and backup. Small businesses are the core of our economy, and we're proud that Apple products play a role as these companies grow, says Susan Prescott, Apple's VP of Enterprise and Education Marketing. Apple Business Essentials is designed to help streamline every step in employee device management within a small business, from setup, onboarding, upgrading, and accessing fast support and services, and prioritize support while keeping the data backed up and secure, so companies can focus on running their business, because a lot of small businesses do not have IT or IRS supports. Simple setup and onboarding with collections. Apple's Business Essentials is a complete solution to help make employee onboarding simple, with allowing a small business to easily configure, deploy, and manage Apple products from anywhere. Within Apple Business Essentials, collections enable IT personnel to configure settings and apps to individuals, users, groups, and devices. When employees sign again into their corporate or personally owned device with their work credentials, collections automatically pushes settings. And again, this is not really that perfect. You have to do a lot of criteria. You're probably going to have to be on the latest Apple, iOS or macOS supports, whatever. Collections will also install Apple Business Essentials app to each employee's home screen, so they can download corporate apps that are assigned to them, such as Cisco's WebEx or Microsoft's Word. With Apple Business Essentials, this sounds like this is a phrase they used back in the 80s. It just has that sound to it. The iCloud, so Apple's Business Essentials provides a dedicated iCloud account for work, providing simple and secure storage, backup, collaboration on files and documents. Business data in iCloud is automatically stored and backed up, making it easy to move from one devices or upgrade a new device. But what if you're on an Android? I have some Android wackos, not as many as iPhones. There's the subscription goes a set of 3 simple Apple Business Essential plans that allows businesses to cover every employee and device in their organizations. Plans can be customized to support each user with up to 3 devices and up to 2 terabytes of secure storage in iCloud, starting at $2.99 a month, with an optional Apple Care Plus for Apple Business Essentials. It's still a free beta today in the US. The service will be available in spring 2022. To sign up for the beta, visit apple.com/business/essentials. And this was not it's not Apple Care Plus. Here's Apple's about, and the end of the business the press release. Apple revolutionized personal technology with the introduction of the Macintosh in 1984. Today, not about the Apple II or anything like that. That's being whitewashed. And I bet in a few years the Macintosh will get rewritten. It'll be Apple revolutionized hyper-personal technology with the introduction of the iPhone in 2007. It's only a matter if, not when. The media helpline, that's interesting. They got the media helpline. All right. So, what I say about that is get your own cloud. Don't rely on Apple. I'm just TechCrunch reports, and this is again this is written from consumerist views, not from business. For many small businesses, trying to manage their employees' Apple devices and keeping them up to date. It's always about up to date. Up to stable releases, if you ask me. These businesses tend to lack sophisticated IT departments when the devices break down or when users have questions. Recognizing this issue, Apple acquired Fleetsmith. Okay, so that is part of this. This was a growth by acquisition. Susan Prescott said that the company wanted to help customers onboard, support, and update employees' Apple devices and offboard them when they leave the company. It's essential. It's designed for people with Apple devices that have the life cycle that's compromised among 3 core pieces. It's worth noting that employees can bring their own devices in when they sign into a supported device. See, supported. Bet you this guy won't work the iPhone 6 Plus, right? So to me, this is where I don't think Jamf and the other competitors will. It looks like Apple's will be carving out a niche. Yeah, that's kind of all you need to know. I don't know what's this X. All that takes me to TechCrunch. All right, so that It's that on that regard, but I will read some more news in a bit. We're going to take a bit of an early commercial break here, and with that, just an FYI, there will not be a TechBeat coming on. Won't be on next week. We'll be on tape delay, but we'll give you some advice and we'll mix it up. We've done I don't know how many weeks of weekends worth of TechBeat. I think we're on like 14 or 15 different episodes. I've lost track because I'm not the one that does all that kind of stuff. So we'll be doing the best of that, the best stories, and some of your best questions and some advice that I'll give you before Black Friday, which I'll do here on the show as well. We'll take a break. The third half of this show will come back in a moment. Humble host from TechBeat. I'm Steven. I'm also the proprietor of Techie Crafts. I am pleased to tell you that I have plenty of supply remaining in my Techie Crafts thanks to COVID and just the delays of not getting your creative stuff in craft fairs. So I have a lot of inventory. Now I want to tell you a good little secret because you listened to me on TechBeat on News Radio 990 BCOP and the BRCK550. I want you to use a little promo code on the Etsy checkout. It's called BCOP990. Use that code on the Etsy checkout and you'll save because you're a loyal listener to Tech Beats and you like techie related crafts. Use that. We have deep discounts thanks to COVID, just putting a kink on everything. And we also are using COVID-19 protocols, even though it may still not be as necessary, but we care about your safety. Visit techiegrafts.clickfor.net and just use BCOP990 and I'll know where you're coming from. BCOP news time 2:46. In downtown Copenhagen, a little bit more mild and things get cooler in the area. BCOP, the time on BCOP 247. Downtown Copenhagen, Thanksgiving Day Parade. Am I on? Okay, we'll take that caller next.
Hello? Okay. I think I got a lot of grounding here. now because I'm approaching 2 minutes to come back. 2 minutes. Can you come on? Alan?
This is a programming note from BCOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now, from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford, from Clickford Media Services.
Okay, welcome back. We've got some more questions regarding VPNs. I mean, like I said, I normally tend to I try to incorporate a bunch of different audiences to get you a more better view on in the technology world here. Let's go live to Alan, who's got a question on VPNs with his smart TV. Alan, you're on TechBeat. How can I help you on this Saturday afternoon? Good. How are you?
How are you all?
I'm good.
Alright, so I have a question with this whole VPN thing. So how can I use the VPN for things like I have my TV connected to the internet, but I need to know how to hook up this so I could watch some stuff from other parts of the world, you know?
Right.
So there's a way I can VPN on the TV?
Well, I'm assuming most TVs don't have a VPN app, and most of the VPN people are probably going to use it for devices. So, do you know, one of the questions I would ask is, can you do it on your TV? Second, can you do it on your router? Because that would be a helpful point.
Okay.
The other option would be...
I'm not sure if I can.
You're not sure if you can do it. Okay, well... Because a lot of times these VPNs, if you want to VPN your router to router, you have to do a site-to-site VPN.
Okay.
I would check with your VPN provider to see if you can VPN from your router to the VPN rather than on the device.
Yep, I'm taking good care of her. Yep. She's feeling.
Yeah, your pregnant girlfriend is doing okay. You're taking care of her, you know what I mean?
Yep, I'm taking good care of her. Yep.
Okay.
She's feeling fine.
Oh, she's feeling fine, right? Because you're probably taking good care of her, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thank you, Alan. I'll tell you where he comes from on another show here because I don't talk about the competition here. Time is 54 minutes after the hour. We're talking about different subjects here. There's apparently a new Wi-Fi standard. I'm not on the latest and greatest here. This is from Macworld. The Pentagon from TechCrunch has announced a new cloud initiative to replace the Jedi contract because we all know that had problems with the Trump administration because apparently Jeff Bezos that owns the Washington Post apparently owns and micromanages AWS, and apparently he's out to get Donnie Boy Trump allegedly, supposedly. So they're putting a new RFP on request for proposals, and by Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Oracle have been invited to bid. The multi-vendor approach is different than the Jedi, which was a single vendor that was going to walk away with the prize from TechCrunch. In fact, the Pentagon makes clear that while it favors Amazon and Microsoft, any qualified invited vendors could get a piece of this deal. The RFP states that the government anticipates awarding two IQ contracts, one to Amazon Web Services and another to Microsoft, but it tends to award all cloud service providers or CSPs that would demonstrate the DoD. I love how they mix caps now. Market research indicates that a limited number of sources are capable of meeting the department's requirements. Currently, the department is aware of only 5 US-based hyperscale cloud service providers. Furthermore, there are only 2 of those hyperscale CSPs, AWS and Microsoft, appear to be capable of meeting all DoD's requirements, including providing cloud services at all levels of national security classification. Jedi was mirrored in controversy from the start as top cloud vendors jockeyed for the position, and lesser ones almost tried to get in the act. There is much drama, complaints to the president, complaints from the president, complaints about the presidential interference, formal inquiries galore, and several lawsuits. In the end, despite everything believing Amazon would win the bid, it didn't. Microsoft did. That's just bad. Okay. Other news. At the top of our 3 o'clock show, we'll talk about how to get the best tech item at the best price, but don't take time out of your family to do it. There are plenty of other ways to do it. That's coming up on TechBeat on the 3 o'clock hour, our second and last hour before Thanksgiving Day holiday. I hope you enjoy it. Anyways, we'll be back in a moment. Thank you for listening to TechBeat. It's that time of year again, and downtown Copenhagen will shut down on Thanksgiving morning for its annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. Turn to BCOP TV Channel 6 at 11 a.m., and if you're stuck in your car ready to your grandmother's house, you go. Tune to BCOP 990. Channel 6 News reporter Alessa DeSanto and Paul Martino from BCOP 990 will give you the play-by-play. Tune in on Thanksgiving morning. Hi, Hi, this is your humble host from TechBeat. I'm Steven. I'm also the proprietor of Techie Crafts. I am pleased to tell you that I have plenty of supply remaining on my Techie Crafts thanks to COVID and just the delays of not getting your creative stuff in craft fairs. So I have a lot of inventory. Now I want to tell you a good little secret because you listened to me on TechBeat on News Radio 990 BCOP and the BRCK550. I want you to use a little promo code on the Etsy checkout. It's called BCOP99. Use that code on the Etsy checkout and you'll save because you're a loyal listener to Tech Beats and you like techie related crafts. Use that. We have deep discounts thanks to COVID just putting a kink on everything. And we also are using COVID-19 protocols even though that may still not be as necessary, but we care about your safety. Visit techiecrafts.clickfor.net and just use BCOP99 and I'll know where you're coming from. European news time is approaching 3 o'clock at the time. This is Stephen Tucker.
In the spirit of Copenhagen, news, traffic, and weather. This is BCOP, BCORFM, and BCOE
Top of the hour on BCOP 990. This is Jane Weathers in the BCOP newsroom. Kyle Rittenhouse is not found guilty. He is an innocent man. The then 17-year-old boy who was accused for murdering 2 bystanders at a Black Lives Matter protest last summer has heard his verdict. However, victims are not happy with the outcome from ABC News.
Parents of Anthony Huber issued a statement. We are heartbroken and angry that Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted. There was no justice today for Anthony or for Mr. Rittenhouse's other victims. Today's verdict means there is no accountability for the person who murdered our son. It sends the unacceptable message that armed civilians can show up in any town, incite violence, and then use the danger they have created to justify shooting people in the street.
And then covers the news at the minute after the hour. Back in Copenhagen, John Broderberg, Governor Broderberg, is now changing his tune. He will not be showing up for the Copenhagen Thanksgiving parade. Paul Martino has his report from downtown.
The governor denies plans for going to the Copenhagen Thanksgiving Day parade in a new state agency. Rumors have been reported that the governor was going to introduce the Mini-Brick State Marshals in one of the parades in lieu of the Mini-Brick State Police. City officials say they will not allow any last-minute changes to any government agencies as it was settled earlier in the month. If the governor does have plans and aspirations to use the city parade for his political agenda, this will raise concerns amongst the city officials. In downtown Copenhagen, this is Paul Martino for BCOP 990 News.
It's going to be seasonally mild today, a little bit warmer tomorrow. 52 in downtown Copenhagen, upper middle 50s elsewhere. Tomorrow night, cooler in the 20s. For the rest of the week, it will be turning more seasonally mild for the rest of the week. The current temperature right now is 46, going up to 48 degrees in downtown Copenhagen, 43 in Kensington Sparks, and 45 degrees in Littleton Heights. Our next news update is at the bottom of the hour. Breaking news when it happens. This is Jane Weathers in the BCOP newsroom. It's that time of year again, and downtown Copenhagen will shut down on Thanksgiving morning for its annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. Turn to BCOP TV Channel 6 at 11 a.m., and if you're stuck in your car radio to your grandmother's house, you go. Tune to BCOP 990. Channel 6 News reporter Alessa DeSanto and Paul Martino from BCOP 990 will give you the play-by-play. Tune in on Thanksgiving morning.
Do you know a techie in your life that likes to have technical themed stuff in their office or workspace? Do you have a favorite catchphrase that your techie person may like? Visit techiecrafts.clickford.net. This website has more than 20 items available at your convenience. Shipping can be done within 3 business days. Use promo code 990BCOP at checkout to save 20% off for any orders over $25. Visit techiecrafts.clickford.net. This is a programming note from BCOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now, from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford, from Clickford Media Services.
Welcome back to TechBeat. It's on today. It is November 20th, 2021. Some advice here for you is the Black Friday's coming up, and I would just tell you, really, is it really worth taking time on actually Thanksgiving Day to get out of your house, out of your family? And I know this gets into a religious war, but I'm on the camp of family and stuff like that. So I'm going to be working pretty much. I'm doing productions for both what you're going to be seeing on Channel 6 and BCOP Radio, right? And then I'm going to be off hopefully Thursday and Friday. So the problem is, are you going to really save any? And do you really, you couldn't save it before? I was at Best Buy, and this is one of the things that drives me nuts with Best Buy is particularly or any of the stores, everything's got Christmas right now, and people are like packing up the box stores now, and no one's socially distancing, no one's wearing masks, no one's trying to reduce the spread of COVID. So it's a really messy place, and I felt like I was in my bedroom when I was at Best Buy the other day, just looking at getting a hard drive, because I thought, well, this is not even Christmas yet, and but I can't have a full month of shopping for yourself. I have to do it, because it's really weird going shopping for yourself in December, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So my camp is that you look for deals all year round. You really need the latest and greatest stuff. Is it worth it? Can you wait for a deal that might be a flash sale, that might be, pay attention to things. That's my advice to something that may not, is it going to be worth it in a year or 2 or 3? Consumer technology tends to deprecate faster than enterprise, but now with the consumerization of the enterprise, that's a whole nother ball game in itself. So that's my advice. What else is on our rundown today? Do you have any calls coming up? Yeah, it's 3:10 right now. Mirrorless cameras. What's my opinions on mirrorless cameras? I am not a big fan of it. Part of it is, it's lighter, but yet it's heavier because the lens is really heavy, and I know that point and shoot's really gonna have the mirror, but I'm not a big fan of the whatchamacallit, the mirrorless, because I just think you're everything being digital, and one more thing that isn't something that we've grown up with or we know something, I don't really care for it. I think it's too modern. I think consumers like to control everything, and before you know it, the people that like stable stuff like DSLR cameras are going to be damned if we don't adapt. So that's a nice way to threaten people into compliance, I guess. That's my opinions on that. Let's do we have a phone call right now? Let's go back to the Apple company that they bought in June of last year, 2020. And the time in IT has to help employees set up and manage devices remotely. A service that simplifies these processes could certainly help come in handy for Apple. Apple acquired Fleetsmith today, a startup that helps companies do precisely that with Apple devices. I love this mixed writing here. While Apple didn't publicize the acquisition, it was confirmed in the deal with TechCrunch. While Fleetsmith announced the company deal in a blog post, neither company was sharing the purchase price. The startup has built on the advantages of Apple's device enrollment program, or DEP, allowing IT departments to bring their devices online as soon as the employee takes it out of the box and powers it up. At the time of its $30 million Series B funding round last year, CEO Zach Blum explained the company's core value proposition. From a customer's perspective, they can ship devices directly to their employees. The employer apps they connect to the Wi-Fi, and the devices enrolled automatically in Fleetsmith. Over time, the company has layered other useful pieces beyond automating device registration, like updating devices automatically with OS and security updates, which is my least favorite thing, while letting IT see a dashboard of all the status of all the devices under management in a pretty slick interface. While Apple in all likelihood continues to work with Jamf, the leader in Apple device management space, this acquisition gives the company a remote management option at a time when it's essential with so many employees working from home. Fleetsmith has raised more than $40 million from investors from Menlo Ventures, Tiger Global Management, Upfront Ventures, Harrison Metal. Will continue to sell the product for the company's website, according to a blog post. The founders put a happy face on the deal, as the founders tend to. We're thrilled to join Apple. Our shared values in putting the customer in the center of everything we do without sacrificing privacy and security. It means that we can truly meet our mission of delivering Fleetsmith to businesses and institutions of all sizes around the world, they wrote. So that was June of last year, hence where Apple got their current platform. Okay, we're going to take a break. It's 3:14 here on TechBeat. We'll take more of your questions next here. Stand by. here again in downtown Copenhagen will shut down on Thanksgiving morning for its annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. Turn to BCOP TV Channel 6 at 11 a.m. And if you're stuck in your car radio to your grandmother's house, you go. Tune to BCOP 990. Channel 6 News reporter Alessa DeSanto and Paul Martino from BCOP 990 will give you the play-by-play. Tune in on Thanksgiving morning.
Do you know a techie in your life that likes to have technical themed stuff in your office or workspace? Do you have a favorite catchphrase that your techie person may like? Visit techiecrafts.clickford.net. This website has more than 20 items available at your convenience. Shipping can be done within 3 business days. Use promo code 990BCOP at checkout to save 20% off for any orders over $25. Visit techiecrafts.clickford.net.
Good afternoon. We have a problem on the Maybach Street Freeway, 295 northbound New York exit. Is it 21 or is it disabled vehicle? And on the left shoulder, let's be careful on that. Working clockwise on the region, we do have a problem on the 291 eastbound. There is a vehicle on the lower lane heading into downtown. You want to use the other exit or go around the local street, go through Centennial and work your way through there. We do have some delays in the Centennial Park region as they're practicing for the parades, which is advisory on that. Our next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on BCOP 990.
Forecast for the BCOP Weather Center will be pretty much, we're going to be going down to lows in the 20s, upper 20s elsewhere. Between current temperature 46, going down to 24 in downtown Copenhagen.
Okay, you want me to... Okay.
This is a programming note from BCOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now, from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford, from Clickford Media Services.
So I had some interesting notes with this whole new Apple management platform that Apple is pimping here, because I sometimes wonder if this has something to do with people that are using iClouds, civilian iClouds, to do things that they shouldn't be doing because it's against the user agreement. So for the longest time, when I did update my iOS stuff, it was badgering me for weeks on end to agree to the terms. And let me read this to you, because these are very blatant terms of services here. So Apple is saying that on the more recent iCloud agreement, I snapped this in on October. iCloud Photos. So the stuff that Apple takes, when you enable iCloud Photos, your photos, videos, and metadata, any edits that you make at the Photos app on your iOS device or macOS computer or Windows PC will be automatically updated, stored in the iCloud, and then push to all your other iCloud photo-enabled devices, computers. The photo and video resolution may depend on your device settings and available storage. You may download full resolution photos and videos at any time. Shared out, that's kind of obvious there for us people here. Folder and file sharing, it tells you all the various, if you logged into an iCloud and use macOS Mail app or iCloud Mail to send emails with large sharing, so you have the option to use MailDrop. With MailDrop, your large attachments will be temporarily stored on iCloud servers to facilitate their delivery. Apple will either send a link or preview of those attachments to recipients. Temporary storage of large email attachments will not count towards your iCloud storage. Third-party apps, though, right, a survivorship. Except allowed under digital legacy, unless required by law, you agree that your account is non-transferable, and at any rights to your Apple ID account within your account will terminate upon your death. Upon receipt of a copy of a death certificate, your account may be terminated and all content within your account deleted. I mean, how often is that being enforced? No sales services, content, which means all the different legal stuff here. Your conduct, you agree that you will not use the service to upload, download, post, email, transmit, store anything that is unlawful, harassing, threatening, harmful, torturous, defamatory, libelous, abusive, vulgar, obscene, invasive of other people's privacy, racially or ethnically offensive, or otherwise objectionable, stalk, harass, or or threaten or harm another. Forge any TCP IPs with a hyphen packet header of any part of a header from information from an email newsgroup posting, otherwise putting information in a header designed to mislead recipients in the origin of the content. See spoofing. Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff in here. If you're a covered entity, business associate, or representative of a covered entity, um, or business associate as those terms are defined in 45 CFR section 160.103, you agree that you will not use, component, or function or any facility of iCloud to create, receive, retain, or transmit any protected health information. Such term is defined in the 45 CFR section 160.103, or use iCloud in any manner that will put Apple or any Apple subsidiary, your or third party's business associate. So that's what you sign up to now with Apple's new device management. I wonder if those rules get waived. So let's go to Harry. Harry's got a question. You're on TechBeat.
Hi, this is Harry from Westchester, York. I have a question with regard to Macs, and you're kind of a guy that looks at the yes. My question is, I'm getting a new Mac, and I want to make sure everything that looks like my current Mac works on my new Mac. Do you recommend, in terms of like the preferences and stuff, I do a time machine backup?
Yeah, I think it's a better option to do it
Okay.
before. Yeah.
Good to know. Thanks.
Thank you, Harry. Harry from Westchester. Let's continue on the call. We got another caller up here. Let's go open him up. Hello, you're on TechBeat. Hello there.
Hi, I have a question with regarding to your advice for phone systems that aren't the big guys, but something that is pretty good enough. And I know you talked about it before. I just had wanted to wanted your opinions on which one that you recommend. I'll take your question off the air.
I recommend, it depends on your application. I do not like free PBX at all. Free PBX is, you have to register, you have to sign your life away, give out your email so they can spam me with misinformation, or not information, but marketing. It's funny that these are free and open source, but they still want your money. But my other one that I like is Isabel, because it has like a phone system. It's got call center. It has email, calendar, which is kind of like for me, it's I prefer that Flexa, the the whole, what's that going on here with asterisk. You can install different modules. There's more leniency. You have to get, you can you have to give out your email. I recommend you donate here, but I'm just looking at different stuff here. For instance, to Peru, another phone system you have is you have an option. It's called 3CX, and 3CX. I just got an email from them earlier today about to improve our cloud services. The domain endpoint to activate 3CX products will change, which means you have to patch it. It's again all this internet connected stuff. I like IP stuff, but I'm not a big fan of the internet as a whole. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll continue to talk about different subjects on enterprise tech and consumer tech, whatever it is that floats your boat. This is TechBeat.
If BCOP 990 was a music station, it would be an eclectic blend of serious news and beautiful, high-level information to our listeners. Our listeners are one of the most brightest and smart consumers in any northern brick England market. Tap into the highest net worth of information by contacting BCOP Sales at 231-272-9899 9949 231 272 9949.
It's that time of year again, and downtown Copenhagen will shut down on Thanksgiving morning for its annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. Turn to BCOP TV Channel 6 at 11 a.m., and if you're stuck in your car ready to your grandmother's house, you go, tune to BCOP 990. Channel 6 News reporter Alessa DeSanto and Paul Martino from BCOP 990 will give you the play-by-play. Tune in on Thanksgiving morning.
Kyle got in over his head. He might have been foolish to be in that situation in that moment, but foolishness is not a crime in the United States. And at the end of the day, he still had a right to self-defense in that moment. Temperature in downtown Copenhagen, it's 46, going up to 38. It's 41 in Paddington, Texas, and it's also 43. Hi, this is East Conway. We'll have our next news update at the top of the hour. This is Jane Weathers in the BCOP newsroom. Hi, this is your humble host from TechBeat. I'm Steven. I'm also the proprietor of Techie Crafts. I am pleased to tell you that I have plenty of supply remaining in my Techie Crafts thanks to COVID and just the delays of not getting your creative stuff in craft fairs. So I have a lot of inventory. Now I want to tell you a good little secret because you listened to me on TechBeat on News Radio 990 BCOP and the BRCK550. I want you to use a little promo code on the Etsy checkout. It's called BCOP990. Use that code on the Etsy checkout and you'll save because you're a loyal listener to Tech Beats and you like techie related crafts. Use that. We have deep discounts
thanks to COVID, just putting a kink on everything. And we also are using COVID-19 protocols, even though that may still not be as necessary, but we care about your safety. Visit tachygraphs.clickfor.net and just use BCOP990 and I'll know where you're coming from. It's that time of year again, and downtown Copenhagen will shut down on Thanksgiving morning for its annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. Turn to BCOP TV Channel 6 at 11 a.m., and if you're stuck in your car radio to your grandmother's house, you go, tune to BCOP 990. Channel 6 News reporter Alessa DeSanto and Paul Martino from BCOP 990 will give you the play-by-play. Tune in on Thanksgiving morning.
This is a programming note from BCOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now, from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford from Clickford Media Services.
So I went to Best Buy, like I said, it feels like it's Christmas, and I'm just really not into that time just yet. I mean, I feel guilty for shopping for myself when it's not really that time just yet here. So let me show you what I saw. So I saw the new iMacs because I'm such a fanboy. I'm going there right when he first came out. Of course I did. So I saw the Intel iMac, which I don't know if it's on sale or what. I didn't really check for the prices, but I was paying attention to the M1 iMac, and that was one of the most strangest computers I've ever seen because it's missing the Apple logo. If you're watching the stream, I don't understand why Apple's all black and dark. I just don't grasp that, and I just feel like I was stepping back decades and not moving forward. And I think Craig Federighi is not a good executive. I think he comes off to be a very pretty person. He's not a very competent person. I think he just does it to look good because that's what he is, that kind of person. I think he tends to be a nice guy, and he's not a very strong guy because if he really believed in, he's got too much charisma. That's an example of how you're dealing with a pretty boy, and I don't think he has much substance, but not enough style, in my opinion. I think he just has to leave. He needs to go. He's sizzifying Apple. Let's pick up the calls here, or are we just gonna continue? I know it's been a slow day. Just imagine next weekend here on TechBeat. So we're gonna be off next week, and then we'll be on the following weekend, which will be approximately December 4th. We'll be back on. So yeah, enjoy this November while it lasts here on TechBeat. Some questions that come up to my attention. I do not know everything about tech, so I'm not the biggest genius here, and one of those comes to my lack of understanding consumer grade technology. And I know I've been getting a bunch of calls on Ubiquity. So one of the things I might do in the future is to do segments on testing out new hardware, so you guys can see what I'm using and see how it all works out. That'll be something I'm going to be looking at doing in the future here. So to get those people that are asking for those hard to answer questions regarding technology and stuff of those along those lines. Oh, my camera's not on me here. You gotta move it over a little bit here. And I dropped my keyboard here. One of the questions I get a lot too with regards to Black Friday, where do you go to shop? Well, I think it's good to shop around places, brick and mortar, and even even the online stuff, just to find the best value at the best price. That's what that's my mantra. That's particularly much of my mantra, is to find the best deals. Don't try to go on like eBay or Newegg just to save a few bucks. I don't like that. So those are my recommendations. Do we have a caller right now? Do we have a caller? Okay, let's try to take a caller right now. It's a live raw caller. Let's hope there's no trolls on here. Hi, you're on TechBeat. What's your question? Hello?
Hi, this is Davey here. I have a question with regards to the virtualization here. I have a company that we have this very old Linux program that we can't just put on a new computer. And you talked about virtualization. How would this apply for my use case?
So in that context, if you're using things like virtualization, it depends on what you're using it for. But in my recommendation is you get something like a VMware or something where it can run in a virtual environment, and put it on a modern computer that you're not using it to do normal stuff. Am I assuming this is for normal business applications like ERP?
Exactly.
Okay, that would be something that I recommend. Just virtualization. You could probably put it on the Amazon cloud or Microsoft. Just talk to your supplier if the people that write your code are still alive. Because it seems like this is a custom code project.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that would be the thing I recommend. Thank you for the call. We got Kevin on the line. Kevin is telling me that I'm wrong. I should go on eBay for everything. Why do you believe that you're entitled to get cheap stuff?
Because you're wrong. I use Newegg and eBay. I don't care about warranties. I just want something cheap and fast. And there are more people like us that don't want to be paying money for overhead and buy products from greedy corporations.
So you're telling me that I buy a server from Dell, it's considered to be greedy than building it? I mean, is it just a sense that you're a hyper masculine and that you just want to prove that you're always right?
No, because it's really expensive. When you look at the bottom line, it's really expensive. And these companies know that they're making a lot of money, so you're totally wrong.
Okay, all right. I appreciate that call. Thank you. Whatevs. Let's go live to Clara's the next caller. Let's go live to Jeffrey. I can't say that 5 times fast. Jeffrey, you're on TechBeat with your question.
Hi, I'm just curious on what you recommend for nonlinear editing to produce video on the fly, just to cut up stuff other than using iMovie or Apple stuff.
Well, what I recommend in that sense is if you're really editing video, I probably recommend that you just get Premiere. I know Adobe's really expensive, but
I'm asking what you recommend.
well, what I would recommend might be out of your ball game.
So what's wrong with that?
Right. So what I would recommend that you could try out Avid's Media Composer. I'm more on that. You could really like DaVinci. I know a lot of people like DaVinci.
Alright, what's that, DaVinci?
DaVinci Resolve.
Okay, I'll check that out. I'll follow up with you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, DaVinci's I think a little bit good for calling. I don't think it's good for editing. It looks at each memory for lunch. So, all right, we're gonna take our last break, and in our third half of the show, or last half, I know to car talk. We'll wrap up the show and then give you some more shopping advice on this time of year. Sorry, it's getting dark, but it's that time of year, and I think it's cloudy outside, so. We'll wrap it up there. Thank you for listening to TechBeat. We'll be back in a moment. BCOP News Time 3:45. Time for traffic and weather together every 15 minutes on the quarter hours of 14 minutes guidance. That's any 50 traffic coming.
Alright, graphics one's close. Alright, last show to do for the day. Okay. And I will give you guys a weekly update. I'll write the copy. Yeah. Okay. Okay. one. Alright, another caller coming up? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm Steven. I'm also the proprietor of Techie Crafts. I am pleased to tell you that I have plenty of supply remaining on my Techie Crafts thanks to COVID and just the delays of not getting your creative stuff in craft fairs. So I have a lot of inventory. Now I want to tell you a good little secret because you listened to me on TechBeat on News Radio 990 BCOP and the BRCK550. I want you to use a little promo code on the Etsy checkout. It's called BCOP990. Use that code on the Etsy checkout and you'll save because you're a loyal listener to Tech Beats and you like techie related crafts. Use that. We have deep discounts thanks to COVID just putting a kink on everything. And we also are using COVID-19 protocols even though that may still not be as necessary, but we care about your safety. Visit techiecrafts.clickfor.net and just use BCOP990 and I'll know where you're coming from.
This is a programming note from BCOP 990. The following program does not reflect the management or staff of this station. The editorial opinions and conjectures do not reflect BCOP's editorial standards. Therefore, the news division cannot be held liable for anything that is said on this program. Likewise, the opinions and advice should not be the primary opinion, and BCOP News Radio or the program cannot be held liable for any mistake heard by the listeners of this program. Thank you. And now, from BCOP 990 Copenhagen, TechBeat, your weekly outlook on an objective view of the technology business and technical questions from you. And now here's your host, Stephen Clickford, from Clickford Media Services.
Welcome back to TechBeat. We're on our final block here. We do, what was it, 3 blocks, that's 06 to 15, and the bottom, and we actually do 4 blocks. I forgot in here. It's been a while since I've been doing this show here, so but we're just a program, we're going to be wrapping. We're going to take a week off here because I'm going to be working throughout the clock for the next few days here, because I'm going to be help producing Jeez, I can't even log into Twitter here. They make it look like this is how you create the account, or you log in. They do this intentionally, I tell you. So I'll be really busy for the next few days, and then resting on the okay. I'm trying to. There we go. Here, back on Twitter, so I can give you some updates here. Let's go to we have a caller with regards to and let's go live to Rob, who has a question on a I can't find her name on the screen, but it's Rob. Rob, you're on TechBeat. You have a question here.
Hi, I have a question regarding subcontracting. When you're involved in building a project, how do you ensure responsibility with the subcontractors? I mean, unlike Facebook, we have a really strong internal stuff. How do you deal with subcons?
Well, how do you deal with subcons? Well, I would make sure you have a lawyer involved. Number one. Number two, I would just make sure that you have standards and you have some policies, and make sure you hold your companies accountable. And making sure that that is being done here. And things of that nature, I would say. But I think would be a good question when you call me back in a week after our break on December will be December, I think, 4th, our next show, so we can answer some of your questions. Sorry if it's becoming a long day, and like I said, I'm gonna be working. It'll be December 4th, 2021. We'll be back on the air, so we're gonna be off for over a week here. We get another question, and I'm really pressed on time, unfortunately. But let's get his name is Jeff. No, Jeff. Hello, you're on TechBeat. What's your question?
Hi, how would you recommend me collecting computers? What's the caveats? Can I make money on them? For someone who likes to play with old stuff, where should I go?
One of the things I would recommend is it's now a hot market. So for a buyer, it may suck. As a seller, if you have pristine stuff, like very vintage, there are people on YouTube that are very purist. Some are a little bit more modest, some are not. I think some are on the camp, they want it to work, some want to have it in original. But if you're someone that wants to learn on old stuff, find something that's really crappy in quality, and if you can get it to work, I recommend you learn how to solder, because that's a very important skill to do. And those are the things I would recommend. What drives you to vintage tech?
Just learning stuff that I think I don't know now.
Yeah, that's a good one. Books are helpful, but one of the cool things too is you can also emulate and do virtualization. So you don't have to have the whole piece of hardware unless you want to. That kind of stuff. All right. Thank you for the call here. Time 3:57. Do we have another time to make a call, or are we gonna just keep going? All right, let's do another call. We got Lindsay. Oh God, Lindsay. This is our normal Lindsay. Lindsay's on the air. Lindsay, what's your question?
Steven, how are you? I have this old BlackBerry that I can't get it to use anymore, and I was just wondering how I could get the thing to work again. I use it to text.
You use the BlackBerry to text. Oh my God. Oh my God, Lindsay. I mean, you bought that. It went to a BlackBerry network.
I just like the keyboard.
Yeah, well, BlackBerry sunsetted it over a year ago, Lindsay. And you were using it to text. My goodness. Oh my goodness. What a consumer. All right. So again, we'll be off this week. Don't forget to listen to BCOP 990 if you're in Copenhagen, to listen to the Thanksgiving Day Parade. Watch it on Channel 6. We'll have the coverage starting at 11 a.m. Until then, have a great day. This is Sam Clickford. You are listening to TechBeat. Have a great weekend. It's that time of year again. again in downtown Copenhagen will shut down on Thanksgiving morning for its annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. Turn to BCOP TV Channel 6 at 11 a.m. And if you're stuck in your car ready to your grandmother's house, you go.
I'll clear up.
990. Channel 6 News reporter.
I'll record and drop it to base
from BCOP
tonight.
990.
I have to check up with my family.
Tune in on
So far.
Thanksgiving morning.
Do you know a techie in your life that likes to have technical themed stuff in their office or workspace? Do you have a favorite catchphrase that your techie person may like? Visit techiecrafts.clickfor.net. This website has more than 20 items available at your convenience. Shipping can be done within 3 business days. Use promo code 990BCOP at checkout to save 20% off for any orders over $25. Visit techiecrafts.clickfor.net.
I hope we have an informative weekend. We'll see you in a couple weeks. This is Stephen Clark for PCOP News. I'm at zone 4 o'clock.
In the spirit of Copenhagen, news, traffic, and weather. This is BCOP, BCOR FM, and BCOE AM 81 Copenhagen.